been made. How would you imagine a post-AGI world would look like?
Well, I wrote a book about this called Genesis, which you have a copy of, and it came out in November. It's with Kissinger and Craig Mundy. It was the last project of Henry before he died, and he finished the book a week before he died. So it's a very emotional and special thing from my perspective as my close friend. And in the book, we talk a lot about what is it like to have all of this stuff around you to human identity. So he says it more beautifully than I do, but the way to understand it is that we have a whole bunch of unwritten and unspoken assumptions about what it means to be human. We understand that we have consciousness, although we cannot define it. We understand human excellence. We celebrate the great athletes, the great car drivers, and all that kind of stuff, the great mathematicians. So, as humans, now when this alien intelligence shows up that is superhuman, what's life going to be like? I'll give you the thought experiment. There's something which I call the San Francisco School, and it says that the people from San Francisco are literally claiming that we're going to get to human intelligence level within 3 to 4 years. This is called AGI. And when they define it, they say the best human. The thing after that is super intelligence, where you have the best of all humans. In other words, you're smarter than the sum of all humans. So let's imagine that you and I are in charge of a system which is smarter than all humans. Just think about that. And let's assume that it's, trillions of dollars and lots of computers and and you and I are running it. How would you manage it? What would you allow it to work on? Well, if it falls into the wrong hands, it could figure out things which would kill us all. That's obviously not good. How would you organize it to make sure that people are not losing their freedom? The simple example would be that humans don't like to be told by computers what to do. So let's say that I'm in New York and the computer has organized the traffic patterns so that it's optimal. But for some reason, the optimal solution hurts me in my neighborhood. Or another example is that a woman who's pregnant and about to give birth, and her husband, or whatever stereotype you wish, is going to drive her to the hospital, but the car won't go fast enough to get her to the hospital to save the baby. That's clearly not okay, right? You can think of a million such examples, the interactions with children. The book explores all of these. What I would tell you is we don't have a system of thinking in our current language about what it's like to live with such intelligences. And they are coming. Our predictions may be wrong, but we've generally been directionally correct, although occasionally our timing is off.
Now that I think about what you just described, if it's really smarter than us, then what is our role basically there? They're fully autonomous, or they can,
Oh, but I'll give
yeah.
well, does that mean that we're the dogs to them as humans? In other words, does the computer take pity on us because it's smarter than we are? It's obviously not good. So we have to find a way as a society, and this is more than you and me in the tech industry. We have to find a way to coexist with this development, which is extraordinarily important because the development of this intelligence would allow us to solve climate change, life extension, diseases that have bedeviled humans for 1,000 years or more. All the tough parts about human life could be really changed in a really fundamental way by this tool if it's applied correctly.
Yeah. This is